Got Paul Scoop on the U right here at the Voice of College Football. And, of course, you can catch Paul if you just lock it in right here on YouTube. And if you haven't visited his channel, this is a great time to do it because he just got back from Paradise Camp, delivered some great interviews and insight into what was going on there. So check him out on his YouTube channel. So let's talk about some of the highlights there at Paradise Camp, some of your conversations, who stood out to you, what did you pick up from the experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, first off, credit to Coach Mark Richt for setting this up. You know, roughly, I want to say 2016 was the first year because Miami didn't have anything like that under Al Golden. And, you know, it's always a great opportunity and experience for high school football players, not only to interact with the coaching staff, Mark, but you're also interacting with current players on the team. De'Ara King was there, Navon Donaldson, Nesta Silvera, Cam Harris, Bubba Bolden. The entire team was there. Maybe a couple players were missing, but a good amount of the team was there, and they were interacting with the high school football players. Then you also had past alumni that attended the University of Miami. There was Michael Irvin, Edgerrin James, Joaquin Gonzalez. There was Antrell Roll, you know, Kenny Phillips, for example. You know, there were a lot of past players that were able to attend, and it's just a good mix, you know, of players, former players, and the coaching staff there. It really does create a great opportunity for high school recruits. Some drama that did happen before camp, and I was up close and personal with this individual. Wesley Bissainthe visited Florida State before he attended Paradise Camp. He threw down the U at Florida State University. I guess Kane Sport cleared it in the air that the coaching staff was really pushing hard, kind of pressuring him to do it on the spot. I can't look. If I'm a 16, 17-year-old kid, the entire coaching staff is pressuring me to throw down the U, I probably would do it as well. But I think everybody was kind of in a wow factor. And I saw Wesley Bissainthe there at Paradise Camp. And, you know, the presence he had, he was decked out in all University of Miami gear. He was you can tell he was a little bit nervous. All eyes were going to be on him. You know, he was kind of the headline of the event. Wesley Bissainthe's going to be there throwing down the U. So, you know, he did talk to some current players. You know, you can tell he was a little bit nervous and timid during that time. Speaking of the linebacker position, you know, right now with Wesley Bissainthe, want to speak about him. Look, I fully expect that Miami is very much in it. Do not get discouraged that he threw down the U. It was just, you know, pressured in the moment. He was there, decked out in all University of Miami gear, and I understand some fans may not want him to come to the University of Miami after that antic, but you got to remember he's the best linebacker prospect not only in Miami-Dade County, but in South Florida. And in my opinion, the second best linebacker in South Florida is Omar Graham Jr. So let's say the staff turns their heads, wants nothing to do with Wesley Bissainthe. He goes to Florida State. Then Florida State all of a sudden has two of the best linebackers in South Florida. That's not good at all. Okay, and Omar Graham Jr. was not a priority for the staff. They were recruiting him actively, but they did not view him as a priority for this class at the linebacker position. One player, actually two players, but I'll get into the other one after, that was on campus was at Paradise Camp. Demario Toland, four-star linebacker. He's 6'2", Mark, 205 pounds. This kid is huge. He's already a monster. He looks like a college football player already. John Beeson took a lot of time to speak with him, a good 15 minutes, just going over kind of, you know, what it's like to play for the University of Miami and what the city of Miami has to offer, why it's a great place. Avante Williams as well, who's from Orlando, Florida, where Demario Toland, he attends Dr. Phillips High School, that's where he's from in Orlando, was also speaking to him for a very long time. Look, this is a recruit who holds offers from LSU, Clemson, Tennessee, Miami, and Florida State. If you were to ask me beforehand, Mark, about Demario Toland, I think he would have been trending upward to LSU. Seems like Miami very much is in the mix right now, Mark. So just look out for Demario Toland. It was a really great positive step forward in recruiting. And then Devin Jackson, linebacker out of Burke High School in Omaha, Nebraska, was also here this weekend. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, a four-star recruit. It's 50-50 right now with Miami, Arizona State. So just look out for that. If Miami can land out of those three for this linebacker position unit, you take that as a win, Mark, and you move forward. Demario Toland, though, that is a game changer. Just physically, he has a huge presence, and he literally looks like a day one college football player ready to go right now, Mark. It's pretty scary, his physical attributes. And then last name I'll mention at the linebacker position unit, who's kind of a sleeper, Benjamin Hudson. Very interesting profile. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He holds right now offers from Stanford, UCLA, and Arizona. He was at Paradise Camp. My personal opinion, I felt like he could put on a little bit more muscle. I know on paper it said 200 pounds. He looked roughly from 200 to 185 in that range. But I thought it was very interesting. He attends Bishop Gorman High School as well. And he's visiting Utah the next day when I interviewed him. So that's another prospect to look out for. But I think that would be right now not a priority. I don't think it's the profile Miami's looking at.
Trying to track as many of these guys as I could possibly get to. Toland, 27th rated linebacker in the country, number 29 in Florida, number 256 overall. Those are his rankings as it stands right now, according to the 247 Sports Composite. Paul, scoop on the U. Please check him out over on his YouTube channel, as he is always posting tremendous content, but especially right now, just coming off of Paradise Camp. So check out his analysis, interviews, and everything he got done over the weekend, which is really good thing to get started on that. And really, you know, all you had to do is listen to Paul talk about the number of contacts he has, and you get a feel for the hard work that you're doing, Paul. That's great stuff to be able to reel in those kind of interviews, get on the ground floor, get a feel for where these guys are going, what they're thinking, and what the thought process is right now.
No, I greatly appreciate that, Mark. You know, I can't do it without my co-host Ross, who puts in a lot of great work. We just had 4-star recruit Anthony Lucas, defensive end out of the state of Arizona. He's actually the number one overall prospect in that state. Even Gabby Wutia, 24/7 Sports, recognized him as a 5-star recruit. I believe he's the number 27 player overall. And listen, Miami, they're developing a great relationship with him. Credit to Coach Ishmael Aristide regarding that matter. Coach Aristide was recruiting Anthony Lucas at Texas A&M. They both come from a Haitian heritage. They both speak Creole, which is the language of Haiti. So that's a bond right there they've created from Texas A&M. You bring that to the University of Miami. On top of that, his father is a graduate of the University of Miami as well. By the way, was a little bit disappointed that Miami did not offer him right away because he's such a great talent and his father attended the University of Miami. How do you not get on that right away, you know? So, you know, with that relationship, Miami is very much in it. They just got to close because he just visited the University of Alabama recently. So usually when the University of Alabama has recruits there on visit, they're not playing around. That's their priority. So just look out for Anthony Lucas at the defensive end position. Another defensive lineman that was at Paradise Camp, Chamar Stewart, 4-star local defensive lineman out of Opelika, Florida. He attends Monsignor Pace High School. He was talking for a long time with Calais Campbell there and Gregory Rousseau. He was very interactive with the current players on the University of Miami football team. I think he had a phenomenal time there. I think this is slowly building a lock for the University of Miami with Chamar Stewart. The only problem is it's very early in the recruiting process, but I think if Miami can land Chamar Stewart, Demario Toland, put on Anthony Lucas as well, a Wesley Besaint, Devin Jackson, get a good amount of those guys, this class is moving in the right step forward. I think Paradise Camp really gave us a nice push.
Paul, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming on here, laying down the knowledge, and again, tremendous work over the weekend.
Mark, thank you so much, man. The pleasure is mine being on, and thank you again for the opportunity.